Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. Now, Jerry Jones basically is said not legitimate to say Jerry Jones is infatuated with Kyle Pitts. Plenty of people have given glowing assessments of former Florida tight end Kyle Pitts in the last few months, but the Cowboys owner Jerry Jones said one attributed to him isn't quite correct. During a Tuesday press conference, Jones said that Pitts is the kind of player who can help a team win in a Super Bowl, but that it is not legitimate to say that he's infatuated with the player because of the implication that comes with that phrase. It's a distortion for this draft and where we are there, Jones said. It implies something that's just not the case. We're not going to go in there and spend inordinate value to maneuver up there so we can get Pitts. Signals from the Cowboys have pointed in the direction of defensive help with the 10th overall pick, and given the way many expect the first 9 picks to go, Jones noted that the team may get the best defensive player in the draft by staying put on Thursday. And everybody has been saying so everyone's been saying that Jerry Jones is looking to go get Kyle Pitts, that he loves Kyle Pitts. Everyone got to ask themselves this question: is Kyle Pitts going to be healthy? Because in college, he's had troubles staying on the field. Nobody's asking the real question. If Kyle Pitts falls to you in the draft, which I know he's not, he's most likely going to go to the Falcons, it's looking like. Then you basically grab him. I mean, he's the best player available. Your first round pick is the best player available you pick. Defensively, Dallas was historically the worst defense that anybody, has ever seen in history. Then Dak would have to put up all these numbers to try to bring them back in the game. When he got hurt, that showed that the team really was trash and that it all wasn't on Dak Prescott. Now, the Dallas Cowboys problem is they don't have a football expert to actually run the team. But the draft has not always been Dallas' problem. Dallas' problem is picking the right free agents to come in. When they picked Deion Sanders during that time, that team was Super Bowl ready. They just needed to grab Deion, which take that away from San Fran, so San Fran wouldn't win no more. Because, Jerry West, had the notion that it was just all about him, which it wasn't. Like, you guys didn't have that threat who was a scary piece like a Deion Sanders. It was like when Kevin Durant went to Golden State. I mean, it was like that's the biggest piece out there, and whoever he went to, that team was going to be favored because it's Kevin Durant. Now, Jerry Jones' thing is he loves the attention. He loves being viewed as the smartest man in the room or the smartest man in the world. But what Jerry Jones has to understand is this. Your team needs defense, okay? You got the receivers. Now, what I'm hearing is they might get the tackle out of Northwestern, which I'm good with. I would either go with a defensive piece or I would go with an offensive lineman. Those are your most important pieces on your team, is your offensive line and your defensive line. I don't care how great Brady is. If Brady's front five isn't holding them guys for a certain amount of time for him to get that ball out, he's going to look terrible. It doesn't matter who you are. You need a front five and you need a front four. Then after you get your front five and front four, you need a quarterback. On defense, you need a Mike linebacker because those two guys are your quarterbacks. The Mike linebacker is the quarterback of the defense. What's his face? The quarterback is basically your quarterback of the offense, your leader. Now, there's instances where you could build where you got an O-line, a great running game, some receivers. You just need a decent quarterback who can get the ball out. A la Eli Manning, Jeff Hostetler, Brad Johnson, Trent Dilfer. Guys like that, you just need to step in and get the job done. They don't need to be elite for you to win the games. And that's what I'm trying to tell people. Dak doesn't have to be elite to win. You build your offensive line, run the ball like you were doing. Dak is a quarterback. When him and Carson Wentz had their great seasons, their running game was in the top 5 or top 10. They had a good to great running game. So if you're not going to go defense right away, build your running game up and build your O-line up. If you have a top 1 or 2 running game, your defense will have enough time to come off the field, get their rest, and make plays. That Ravens defense last year wasn't good for nothing. Because of the intricacy of them running the ball, a lot really gave them breath, helped that defense sustain on drives. Okay? So the thing is this. Jerryjones, in this situation, I won't have a problem if he picks an offensive lineman because you got to protect your asset, which is Dak Prescott. Kyle Pitts, I would not get Kyle Pitts because you don't need a Kyle Pitts. Now, if this was your team in the 90s where y'all had a chance to get Randy Moss, you get Randy Moss because your defense was decent at that time, better than this one. And you had an offense with the right pieces. You had Emmett Still and you had Michael Irvin. You had Jay Novacek, I believe, or he was hurt. They probably had somebody else. And you still had Troy. That's when you get a Kyle Pitts. But in this situation, you don't have a great defense. But you have to, if he gets Kyle Pitts, you can't blame him because you have to go after the best talent available. If Kyle Pitts is there, you just got to get him. He's the best talent. You know, it's just the truth. Now, I don't think he's going to do it because he's listening to what people are saying. I think that Kyle Pitts is going to be gone. Let me see the draft order again. Give me a second. Okay, I could see Kyle Pitts going. I could see Kyle Pitts going to the Cincinnati Bengals. Either the Atlanta Falcons or the Cincinnati Bengals are going to get Kyle Pitts. I think the Miami Dolphins, if there's a quarterback still remaining, I think they could get a quarterback or they could get a wide receiver. They might get Devontae Smith at that time. Detroit, since they got Jared Goff, Detroit probably will get that lineman from Northwestern because they need a line and they need to protect their asset. Goff got banged up last year. The Carolina Panthers, I'm hearing, even though they got Darnold, they're still going to try to go after a quarterback if there's one available. I could see them getting that. The Broncos, I see them getting a quarterback. And I believe the Dallas Cowboys will get a defensive player. The New York Giants, I see them going after offensive line. Or if it's a receiver, they probably will grab one for Daniel Jones. The Eagles are definitely going to address the defense. They need a secondary. Their secondary has been trashed the past 3 years. And then after that, it's going to be a toss-up. But I believe Kyle Pitts will be going at 4 or 5, either to the Falcons or to the Bengals. Julio Jones is out there. People are trying to say he go to Baltimore. I don't believe he'll go to Baltimore at all. I believe he was going to we'll see. I don't know if somebody will trade for Julio because you don't know how much Julio has left. But Jerryjones needs to rethink what he's going to do. They need defense, but if they go offense, they need to go offensive line. Schultz did good last year. That's going to be your number one tight end. Then you got the other one, Jarwin or Darwin, whatever his name is. He's coming back, and you got CeeDee Lamb, and you got Amari and Michael Gallup. Your offense is fine. You need to build your offensive line back up, and you need to try to run the ball first and then throw this year. Stop listening to everybody. Your quarterback doesn't need to throw 40 or 50 times a game. Dak doesn't need to do that. If Dak is throwing 40 or 50 attempts a game, you guys are down most of the game. You don't need to do that. All right? Now, thank you for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, share this. Hit the notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if you like what you hear, you can donate to the page by Cash Apping me at the word welcome, the number 2, and then HDIITV. And let me know in the comment section, if Kyle Pitts falls to number 10 where Dallas is at, should they take them or should they go after defense? Thank you for listening, and we're out. Deezy.